Crybaby's here. Yay.
Hi, Kent.
You're announcing your conversion.
We missed you at the Ark. What happened?
Well, Joseph was there and one of our other guys, and I had the big, huge crab to haul down here. And so I said, I'll set up. I'll come in by Skype and remote. And I was available. Why? Did you guys want to say something? Did you have some evidence?
Well, I wish you guys would have stopped. It would have been nice to meet you guys.
They did. Two of our guys were there. Joseph, you were there. Did you see Crybaby anywhere?
No, but I was across the highway. I didn't report.
What was the deal with the way they tied up the traffic there and blocked things off? And
there was plenty of parking and, really good group of people there, really nice group of people, a lot of content creators. So it was really a good experience. So I wish you guys would have, I wish you would have stopped and just chatted with us.
We had the world's heaviest and largest crab on 5 different.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be down here. Anyway, did any of your content creators find any evidence for evolution?
Well, they're all great content creators. You'll have to go to their channels and check them out.
Oh.
But I'd like to talk to you about ice cores.
Okay.
Ice cores extracted from Greenland and Antarctica provide valuable data about the Earth's past climatic history, as well as the atmospheric composition in the past. And, they contain trapped air bubbles that allow scientists to analyze past concentrations of greenhouse gases and correlate them with temperature records, pollen records, volcanic eruption records. And it gives a history back to 800,000 years in Greenland, in Antarctica, and about 123,000 years in Greenland. So I just wanted to see what evidence you had against that ice core data. Oh, I can't hear Kent.
There. Right here. I'm coming here.
There you go. I can hear you now.
Okay. There. Ice cores. In Denver, Colorado, there is a large freezer that stores these ice cores they drill out. Okay. I've been in that giant freezer. It's really chilly in there. In Denver, Colorado, the National Ice Core Laboratory. They go to Greenland and Antarctica and they drill holes in the ice. They've done this quite a few times. They have what's called a coring machine, like an apple corer, if you remember that from the old days.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hollow pipe. It drills and it catches the center part and snaps it off. Okay. Ice coring machine, Scientific American. They drill down, they pull these ice cores up, and they store them in these styrofoam tubes in this big freezer in Denver, Colorado. Been there, okay? No question. They've done a lot of research on these ice cores. 10 ice core samples yanked from a remote Antarctic glacier resting in a giant freezer. Okay, that's what it looks like in there. Lots and lots of money spent on this to collect ice. We just go to Walmart and buy our ice, okay? But there's layers of snowpack. Here's the National Avalanche Center. In one slide, they get multiple layers. The snowpack is stratified. A National Avalanche Center. 50 different Eskimo words for snow. Okay, what else is there to talk about? Okay, powder snow, crud snow, pack powder. Okay, the totally false assumption that they go on, and I suspect you're going on, is that the layers are annual layers. They say the snow melts on a warm day, and in the summertime, and it refreezes as clear ice. And in this winter, it just packs and makes white ice. This is the theory that they go on. They call them annual rings, annual layers. The deepest cores are 10,000 feet and go back 135,000 years. This is all because they're wrong about those being annual rings.
Yeah, but we can verify those dates going back to 74,000 years. We have volcanic ash. Let me finish for a second. We have volcanic ash from the Lake Toba eruption between 74 and 75,000 years ago. And that layer has been found in Antarctica and Greenland. And it's been dated both at the source and in those ice cores at 74 to 75,000 years ago. And there's a chemical signature that they have as well that we can identify that as that Lake Toba eruption because of the specific chemical composition. Go ahead.
Let's take one topic at a time.
Sure.
So you're telling me that this volcano erupted 75,000 years ago. Is that your premise?
Yeah.
And how do you know that? based on potassium argon dating from the lava or something? Is that the chemical
Right.
signature?
And so we have that, and we have the layers as well in the ice. So we can correlate it with the amount of annual layers that we have in that ice.
There you go.
And
Okay, hang on.
it's
One
74 to
topic. Hang on, Crybaby.
75,000 years ago. Go ahead.
Hang on, one topic at a time. There, you just said it, annual layers. This is baloney. You can get a warm day and a cold night and get 2 layers, okay?
Then
I
why
talked to
would the
the guy.
composition of the gases vary through time, and you
Let
would
me-
have spikes and you go ahead.
Right.
Sorry.
Let me just show you some facts that you've not entered into your equation yet. In World War II, some airplanes got caught and ran out of gas over Greenland because they got caught in a storm. So a rich guy from Kentucky, I met him, Bob Carden, he wanted to go get one of those airplanes off and put it back together in Kentucky to fly it in air shows. Find an exciting piece
The
of
Lost
history.
Squadron.
The Lost Squadron. There it is. The Lost Squadron. There's a book about it. Okay. Creation Magazine did an article about it. They tried to get to Greenland. They tried to get to England to join the war, hit a storm, had to come back, ran out of gas, landed in Greenland. They found the Lost Squadron. It was covered by 263 feet of ice in only 48 years. 263 feet. These are the facts, okay? The fact is, and listen now, airplanes are always built nose heavy. If they run out of fuel or something happens, motor quits, they can come in and land nose first. If the airplane was built tail heavy, they couldn't ever crash. They would kill everybody if anything went wrong. I talked to the guy.
Can I
who dug
address the Lost Squadron?
I'm going to finish on I'm not done on the Lost Squadron. Then you can here's what I found. I was there, okay? They melted holes down, took the airplane apart, the P-38, brought it up, put it together. It's in Middleborough, Kentucky. You can go there and see it for yourself. It flies in air shows. It was in the ground for 48 years. It was 263 feet down. That's 5.5 feet a year. The deepest hole they ever drilled, this article said, was 10,000 feet. You divide that by 5.5 feet a year, that's only 1,800 years. So they're not annual rings. Deeper ice gets pressed into finer layers. So 4,400 is plenty to account for all the ice. I talked to Bob Carden. I got his phone number here, coming up. He said he dug the plane out. He said they went down 62 feet and hit a piece of plywood that was left by another expedition that had been going down trying to find the planes. And
Can I address that, Kent?
You're missing the point. They're not.
Well, no, I
understand.
I understand that there's
They're not
been
annual.
accumulation of snow on those airplanes,
Oh,
but those
it's not just
airplanes,
snow, it's
those
rings.
airplanes are located near the coast on an active glacier in the south part of Greenland, where you expect different climatic conditions, as opposed to where they collect the ice cores, which is up north in a stable ice field and not on a glacier. Those planes have moved 2 kilometers from where they originally landed in 1942. So it's not comparable to use the Lost Squadron to compare that with the ice cores that have been collected.
Okay, let me finish my then now.
Go ahead.
He told me when they melted down to get to the plane, Bob Carden, he said there were many hundreds of layers above the airplane. He told me they got 30 to 40 rings in just the 9 years they were working up there. They're not annual layers. Give it up, okay? They still call them annual layers. Annual layers still from Antarctic glaciers. They're not. How can ice cores go back 80,000, 800,000 years? I know you guys hate the number 6,000, and you'll do anything to disprove that.
Well, it's the evidence points to greater than 6,000. I mean, we have the annual rings. We have the correlation with the volcanic events. We have correlation with pollen layers that are also found in lake varves, which are lake sediments, and those correlate to pollen layers in the ice cores as well. So we have multiple dating and correlation methods in order to date those ice cores.
Okay, I've covered all that in detail on my video number 1. Let me just hit this real quick and go. They still call them annual layers. The thickness of an annual layer is thickest at the top. Dating a core, Australian Antarctic program. They go in, they test the ice, okay? I've studied this intently. Dating and by annual layer counting. Annual layers in ice counted like rings in a tree. Annual layer dating. Ice core basics. I've read all this stuff. Look, ignorance can be fixed, but stupid is forever, okay? I said, this one guy from Alaska said, Brother, I got 15 layers of snow on my car in 8 hours. The Inuit
Yeah, but
Indians,
Kent, how would the composition of the bubbles trapped in the ice change composition through time, gradually spiking, gradually going down, gradually spiking? If it was just in one 6,000-year period, why would you get those variations in the atmosphere?
oh, there are quite a few articles about that on instituteforcreationresearch.org. They have covered this in much more detail than I just want to cover one more thing. Bob told me the layers, they told me they represent annual rings, because in the summer it melts and refreezes, makes clear ice. In the winter it packs and makes white ice. I understand the theory. So different layers can be formed by wind speed changes, temperature changes every day, pressure changes from snow depth. They're not annual layers. Ice cores do not prove the Bible wrong at all. The ice cores probably formed when the canopy collapsed. Much of the ice did at the beginning of the flood. God made everything in 6,000 years ago.
Well,
the flood.
I mean, you're saying that, but there's not much evidence to support the conclusion.
Oh, but there is evidence that we all came from a rock.
Well,
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you're skipping subjects there. We're talking about the ice
yeah.
cores.
Anyway, there are many hundreds. Bob told me there are many hundreds of layers above the airplane. Many hundreds. They landed.
It's on an
48
active
years
glacier.
ago.
It's found near the coastline where it snows more.
I heard you.
And it's in an area where ice cores would not normally be collected. So that's
Because
the reason that the Lost Squadron is not a good example.
Well,
anyway, that's all I have for today, Kent.
Okay. All right. Well,
thank you. I appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you. See, the whole assumption is that they're annual layers, and they're not. How can you get many hundreds of annual layers above airplanes in 48 years? You can't. It's like in a court of law. You might have 5 bits of evidence that look like somebody's guilty, but one proof can set him free. Only takes one proof, and you're innocent. One proof that these rings are not annual layers, and you're not able to date them, is all we need. Okay, Joseph, I'll try to do a little research if I get time on some of the questions he brought up. But the layers are not annual layers. I bet he said that 5 times in his diatribe there. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye.